out concert. You know, you being an MC that made it comfortable for the Absols, for the Kendricks, for the you know, all of these guys to be lyrical, but from the West Coast. What is your thoughts on Kendrick's, you know, his come up and his most recent come up with Not Like Us and this pop out concert? What are your whole thoughts on that situation?
I thought that was brilliant. I mean, you know, I just think he uses his head for more than a hat rack. And I've always said this about any competent MC. Well, I'll use an analogy to say it, and then I'll answer your question. Years ago, maybe 2001 or 2, I was all in the studio. We were at what we call it Gay Larrabee. The Larrabee that's in West Hollywood.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we used to call it Gay Larrabee. Yeah. And we were working. They were working on the X song, exhibit shit. So Dog is in there, Snoop, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Snoop is X-a-lot, you know, he's doing the back. By the time I get there, he's doing that part. Now I remember Dre came up and he's like, "So what's up? How your album going?" I was like, I think my shit is dope. He was like, you don't sound confident. I was like, my nigga, I don't have a million, you know, like, nigga, I watched you mix a record in a studio that costs $7,000 a day for a week. I don't have that. I don't have access to every musician ever in the world, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it was like, don't take my lack of jumping up and down as lack of you know, believing in what I did and what I'm doing. But you know, I understand that I have limited resources, and so I know I gave 110% is all I'm saying. I feel confident. Although, of course, I wish I had your kind of budget and I could do this and get Sting to sing on this fucking, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck. And so, with that being said, I look at the Kendricks and, you know, even the Pops or the not anybody like a lyrical nigga. My whole shit after a certain point is you don't have any excuse for not making fire records. You got all the resources. So I'm very happy to see a Kendrick really prove me right. Like, he is very strategic. He went to war. You know, I say this now. He did a masterful display because it was kind of like 2 against 1. It was J. Cole again. Then he made one nigga apologize real fast, and then he watched the other nigga. And I was like, yo, that's kind of. So he kind of did. I got this LA hat that I was already making anyway. I think you saw. I think I was wearing it when I went up there. Yeah. When you saw me.
Talking about his PG Lang hat.
It's like Highlander HGH LA, the LA and so there can only be one. He Highlandered them niggas. So I was just like, yo, man, like, nasty work, man. Hats off to him. You know, there were some moments where, for instance, when Cannabis dissed LL Cool J, I told him play by play kind of what would happen. There's an art to battle rapping, right? And anticipating what the next person's gonna say. So when you put this shit out, you gotta know he gonna say that. So you gotta kind of already have that written. Most people already have these things prepared because you know you going to war. You don't start trying to make bullets, nigga, when you get in a gunfight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? Like, nigga, you're gonna die. So you're supposed to already have your clip and a reload clip. So Kendrick, I mean, I just saw a masterful strategic dissection, ready to answer whatever. Drake put out the one video. This nigga dropped to meet the Graham. Oh, it was masterful. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then I thought to bring it back home and solidify it visually was brilliant. You know, I don't know him well. I did a song with him before he popped. This shit with because anybody that's dope, I'm just a big supporter of that. I like skill set. I love bars. So I've always been supportive, man, and I think he Highlander niggas, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't really have no, you know, there's a lot of nasty MCs, but you know, we play an industry game of groupiness about who sold the most records. That's who counts. You're like, oh, it ain't relevant. So in the relevance world, that nigga wiped his comp out, which is, I gotta give it to him. And I mean, one nigga just gave it to him. Like, if I was J. Cole, there was so many other ways I would have went about that. But don't come out popping shit and apologize. That's the weirdest thing ever. So I
haven't listened to J. Cole since, and I love J. Cole. I haven't listened to J. Cole since, and I love J. Cole.
I mean, but there's a way to battle, you know what I'm saying? Because he was doing gun talk, and I'm like, that ain't really you, J. Cole. Like, figure out who you are to address if a nigga said, you know, it's big me, fuck a big three, whatever. There's another way you could have went about that without trying to do gun play, battle raps, and then obviously having to go back and apologize because now he has no right to claim. Think about it. 50 Cent, you know, I'm the king, or, you know, everybody always cares. One nigga's been fighting for the throne. This is a one-man sport. This is not about saying we all good, kumbaya. You know what I'm saying? This is like boxing. No, you know, it ain't gotta get violent, but niggas is like, I'm the best. So you can't just bow out. I always say, if you go in the boxing match and say you won second place, you're a fucking clown. So Colden already just made himself the second place guy. That's crazy. And then he washed Drake. He kind of made him go home, pack his shit up and go home. So hats off to him. I said all that to say hats off. I think it was a clinic in strategic battle rapping and getting your point across and airing a nigga out on facts. It was ugly. It was great.
It was. Hey, Raz, has anyone ever tried to come at you? I know you have the game situation. You've talked to that at length on other interviews, so you don't have to go into that. But was there any other MCs that had the gall, the nerve to come at RAS KASS?
It was only him, and again, Game's narrative is always he's good at back because he'll strike and do some shit and jump you, and then he throws out a narrative, so he has you just trying to defend the 17 lies he put out there. So that he's always had a good tactic at that. It ain't really the raps, it's the I caught you slipping, I'm gonna do some shit, and then he gonna run, his friends gonna try to pack you out. I'm gonna put it out there. It's just what it is. That's his tactic. It ain't really the bars, it's the show of it. That's the show. So and to be perfectly honest, that's the only person I ever really got into it with. But then nigga didn't want to rap no more. Because I wrote one. And I was like, I got another one for you. Please say some stuff, and I have some other things I would say. You know what I'm saying? But you know, most people don't. You know, I think arguably most people don't. People don't want to battle people unless, think about it. You want to fight the nigga at the top. Everybody wants to be at the top. So I think ultimately, most people don't pick fights with people that may be a problem that won't boost their win. So I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not selling the most records, so everybody's not after